Welcome back to the Total Focus Podcast. I'm your host, Paul. Our special guest this week is Jennifer Wakefield, MRS, Maryland International 2019. She's a breast cancer survivor, dedicated mother, family, homemaker, pageant, hard worker, and on top of it, dedicated to helping people that are struggling through breast cancer. That is Jennifer Wakefield. I hope you're excited to listen about Jennifer and how to really be positive and know that there is a successful fight through breast cancer. And welcome to the show.
Hi, Paul. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm so happy to finally have you on the show, Jennifer, because I've been wanting to highlight the International Maryland group of girls, and show how amazing you group of girls are. So, and especially the hard work that you've put in for the last several years to finally win your first state title, and we're really happy that it happened with the International Maryland group. So we want to tell everyone that story. So, and then
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
no, and then of course all the the stuff you do towards your platform, which is so critical. So why don't we just start with how you got into pageants, so we can tell that story, and then we can tell everybody about your platform and how you really do help people in need. So.
Okay. Well, my journey to being crowned is really a long one. It started 25 years ago, and it was I first saw a pageant, Miss Teen USA, back in the 80s, and that's when I first picked my interest of, oh my gosh, what is that? I want to do that. That looks so fun. And so I had no idea, though, until I got to college. And my roommate was Miss Michigan Teen USA. So I asked her, how do I get into pageants?
That's so
And she said,
cool.
just find one. Yeah, right?
I know. Of all the
Just,
people, all the people to have a roommate with, you have someone who has a state title or had a state title. That's so cool. You guys must have had so
yeah,
much fun talking and just having like good conversations.
it was great. Yes. And I actually went with her to her appearances. So I got to see, what a state title holder did. And I was
Well,
really
that must have
fired me
really
up.
yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that must have really made that fire and you really burn brightly at a young age to see all the cool things
It
you get.
did. Yeah, actually, though, compared to some people, I got a later start. My first pageant, I was a miss, and it was a lot of fun. It was a local pageant, and that there was like 30 contestants, and I was in the top 12. So I was like, yay, this is fun. So, I just continued from there. And to tell you the truth, though, I didn't really place again until I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012. And then I was actually entered into a state pageant for Mrs. Maryland, and I had to drop out because I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So at that point, I went through my treatment, and now I'm cancer free. Yay! So I'm like,
Congratulations.
yes, thank you. So, I was like, okay, I'm going to do what's really important to me and what excites me, and that is competing in pageants. And now I had a new focus because I have a platform, to reach out to other ladies, and that something that I have gone through myself. And so then I started competing and started placing third runner up, first runner up, second runner up.
Yeah, but
so,
looking if you think about it this way, you grew so much as a person. You went through such a horrible life changing situation that really made you grow as a human being. I would never ever want to put anyone diagnose them with cancer, but it sounds like that you became more in tune with yourself and other people because you kept on doing better. So, there is some positive that you continue to do better. So there
yes,
is that. I mean, that's one way to look at it too.
for sure. And so I entered the Mrs. Maryland International Pageant in March of 2019, and I was crowned. Woohoo! That was a really exciting time. And as you know, the international system, your husband helps to crown you, so that was really exciting. And I was thrilled. We got some great pictures. I'm so excited. Um, and so since then, which was March 2, I have been making appearances. My biggest focus is with my platform because the international system focuses on that.
Right.
But as well, I think as a beauty queen, your responsibility is to be in the community where you live and around your state. And I have done appearances with county fairs in Harford County and Montgomery County, and I was in the Annapolis Memorial Day Parade. And but the thing that excites me the most this year, though, is promoting my platform. And my platform is Life After Treatment. Breast cancer is not the end, and giving love, hope, and support to ladies who are going through it now. Because just to tell you a little bit, when I was diagnosed in 2012, it's just shocking to hear the news for yourself. But just as much, I had a coworker and a close friend who was diagnosed the same time as me. And she decided to go another route and not get traditional treatment until it was too late. And sadly, she is no longer with us. And that had a big impact on me. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Because it was maddening. It was frustrating. I just thought she has two boys who need her, and it's kind of the easy way out not to go through these surgeries and all of the tests and everything. It was just maddening. That's another reason why I developed my platform. So it helps me deal with my journey as well as the loss of my coworker and dear friend. And so I reach out to other ladies and I help them. And I do this by many things. The first one is I donate care bags to my breast surgeon, who is Dr. Wright, and her office gives them to ladies at the time that they learn that they have breast cancer. The bag is simple, but I think it's powerful at the same time. They can choose one of 4: brave, strong, love, or hope. And in the bag, there's a teddy bear with hearts, a pack of tissues, a notepad, and chocolate kisses. I wanted to give something that comforts them and lets them know that I wish you the best, and here's a little something to ease this terrible news. And there's a note on there from me, Mrs. Maryland International, saying, I have been where you are 7 years ago, and although our journeys are different, I have been where you are, and my thoughts and prayers are with you. And it was amazing to me because the first time I dropped off the first set of care bags to my breast surgeon, she told me, that's wonderful because you're now Mrs. Maryland. It gives these ladies hope to get through their treatment and to work harder to get through it and have more courage to get through it and to look beyond and to be at a place where they can fulfill their dreams too, whatever they are. And then something also very powerful that she told me, she said, most of her patients who come back to her who've gone through cancer treatment are now living their best life because they've gotten rid of all the nonsense in their life. I thought, wow, that's really powerful.
Well,
so that's what really excites me.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, just by you took over the interview, yeah, of course, yeah, and I know it really excites you, and that's why I love what you call it, life after breast cancer, because it truly is. You are the spinning image of what life can be after breast cancer. You're successful. Mm-hmm. You've accomplished it. You're successfully going out there getting treatment, and then you're also advocating for women to get breast cancer treatment, checkups, and you're trying to help people. So I mean, that's everything that any person that can hope to have someone there to help them. So that, I mean, that's definitely, we need more people like you to really help, because breast cancer is such a devastating, there's really at this point nothing that can prevent it. So it's really important to have people like you that are willing to really put the extra effort in to make people feel just a little bit of help, a little make you feel just a little better. So important.
Yes, I agree. Yes, thank you. I was also going to say that I volunteer with the American Cancer Society as well in the Reach to Recovery program, which is exactly that, ladies who are going through breast cancer. And I check in with them and talk with them how their treatment's going and give them emotional support and just be a listening ear because that's really important. And also for a year, I volunteered every week with the Reach to Recovery. No, I'm sorry, I just said that. With a Moving Forward Together program, which is ladies getting back into exercise after breast cancer treatment. Also, I do Relay for Life. I volunteered at a few of those with the American Cancer Society where I speak. And I also connect with survivors and people who are going through any kind of cancer, because the one I was at was for all cancers, and just talk with them. And I think people really appreciate the fact that I'm there just lending my time and there to listen and, tell them I'm a survivor and you got this and you can be strong too.
Well, I think some of the time, Jennifer, when you're in that situation, and you would know best because you've survived it, is that emotionally, sometimes all you need is a hand to hold, and someone to talk to that's actually been through that situation. I mean, it could be anything. It could be going through a divorce or weight loss or cancer surviving. So, like I was saying earlier, we really appreciate someone like yourself that's doing so well after treatment and really advocating to help other people. So you could, because you could literally not worry about, say that, just go the other route and be like, well, I've already survived, I'm good. But you want to go out and you want to go the extra mile, which is really important, and it's commendable. So.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I think I said I feed my soul and it helps me, hopefully just as much as I'm helping the ladies who are going through breast cancer now. And that is amazing because I had a lady who reached out to me who got a bag from Dr. Wright's office and she picked strong. And she told me that her diagnosis was metastasized and that is not good. And she really has 2 to 5 years to live. But she said, because of my bag, she is going to fight hard. And she said, my goal is to live for 20 years. That just blew me over. That was very emotional. And I chat with her every now and then, and it's amazing.
Well, I know you're very close with your one friend who decided to not go for treatments, but maybe this person that's going to go for treatments could fill that gap of that friend, because it sounds like you guys are going to build a good friendship, because it sounds like you got someone who wants to be a fighter and you'll have someone to really work with. So hopefully you guys can build a good friendship there, because it sounds like you got someone who wants to really fight for it. And I know you love to fight.
Oh yeah,
I know
I'm
you
really
love to fight.
proud of her.
Yeah, and I know you like to fight for things. So, I mean, you didn't even
Indeed.
you kind of glossed over it, but you didn't mention how many times you competed for MRS.
Oh.
So how many times did you? So let's tell the group how many times that you competed just for MRS, because it's really important. Because this is one of the reasons why I want to bring it, because that I just think it's really important, because that just shows that you kept on improving, and eventually you did win. So.
That is true. I don't know what the breakdown is, but I competed for 25 years and 14 tries before I was crowned Mrs. Maryland International.
Okay.
2019.
So 14. I think that's a hell of, that puts in, I really want this. So if you came back 13, no, you came back 13 times, you won on the 14th time. That's some effort. So it just shows that you were bound to win, and I'm gonna bust my ass and find out what I'm doing wrong, and if I'm not doing something wrong, do something that is more interesting to the judges, and tell my story in a way. It just shows ladies out there and guys that are competing in competitions, that just because the judges don't like you today doesn't mean that you can't win that prize one day. So Jennifer is a perfect example of someone that works really, really hard. Okay. And if, like they say, try. If it doesn't help it happen today, it'll happen tomorrow. So
Indeed. I want to say something about pageantry
go ahead, go
because
for it.
if you do it right, it is really, I look at it as continuing education because you have to look at your soul and you have to, work. Well, I have coaches, just like any sport, to help me be a better person, be my best self. And that is always improving myself with interview, being, mentally sharp, with physical fitness, being fit so that you can fit everything in because I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a career person, and I do 5 or 6 appearances a month. And so also, then the glamour side of it, that's I love that too. But I look at pageantry, like the pageant itself is like the gala. It's like the big, the big ball, so to speak. And
It's the
then when
icing
you're
on the cake.
crowned,
It's the
you
icing on the
have,
top of the
yeah.
cake.
Oh, definitely. The way it starts your year, and then your year of service starts, and that's when you go and give back to the community. So I, have learned that that's how pageantry is, and that's what I love about it.
Well, I mean, it also shows you have a big heart because no one who's there for non-sincere reasons is going to continue doing over and over. So it just shows that you're there for the right reasons. You want to give back to your community, and you want to affect change. And one of the things I wanted to have you talk about was your daughter is a former title holder in the same system that you're currently holding the MRS title. So I know that meant a lot to you, that you were now a co-sister with her. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Well, it was awesome. When my daughters were competing, of course, I took a break because it's a lot of work when one member of the family is competing. So, my oldest daughter, Lexi, when she was 10, she entered the Miss Preteen Maryland International 2010 pageant, and she was actually 4th runner up. She didn't place. And so I guess it runs in the family, or I encouraged her to try again. So she got a coach, and she coached for like 6 or 7 months, and there was 10 or 11 contestants in 2011, and she won. Oh my gosh, I was so
Awesome.
excited. I was screaming, and I was like crying, and I was stomping my feet, and it was amazing. And we had a great year. We both, because she was 11, so I went with her, and we made 35 appearances. Now, when you're a preteen, it's a little different. You go into the community and do lots of good appearances, but she didn't really have a platform. But that's okay. When you're 11, it's more of the fun stuff. But I was really proud of her, and we had a great time. We raised money for homeless people.
So was it more
what else
like?
did we do? We did a lot of good stuff.
Was it more like when you were tagging along with your friend that had the teen title, and you had that young, fun experience again that you got to be?
Being a pageant mom is a completely different thing.
Okay.
And it's actually harder to be a pageant mom than to compete yourself because you're like, did I do everything for her to be prepared? And is there something more I could have done? And you're just like, oh my gosh, you're just like on pins and needles the whole time they're competing. But she did amazing, and she did a 2-minute speech on stage, and she did fun fashion, and she did evening gown, and she was crowned, and it was really the best night. I don't know. I think it is pretty close. The day I got crowned and the day she got crowned, they're pretty close because it was just an incredible moment watching your daughter being crowned. So, and then living the year with her, 35 appearances is quite a lot, and so we had a fabulous time. And
So
as the family, we went lots of places together.
No. So your daughter did 35 appearances. Congratulations.
She did.
Wow,
yes.
congratulations
yes.
on that. That's commendable. I mean that's
Yeah,
USA.
thank you.
That's some USA appearance level, So that sometimes the teens, the junior, the junior teens don't do that much, but that's commendable. That's talking about really going out in the community and really working hard. So it just shows guys that, no
Mhm.
matter what level, you can affect change, and people want to have you out and really motivate people. So,
Yes, and she might compete again. I don't know.
oh, I
She's
hope
like, yeah, I don't think I'm done. But
I hope,
for right now, she is.
yeah, I hope your family member, there should be a Wakefield with a title, so.
The Janelle Wright with the Maryland International Pageants has done an amazing job. She's a fabulous lady, and she's my director. Love her. Woo-hoo. But for the teens in the mess, I gotta say, she just added one of the prizes is half of the tuition to a university. So I was telling my
Wow.
daughter, who's going to be a sophomore in college, a theater major, and she's like, "Say." So yeah, that's a really big pull. So we're pondering it, but I'm still Mrs. Maryland, so you don't gotta wait a little
No,
bit.
no, no, no. But no, that's a great that's huge news. I'll definitely I need to have our director on as well. She definitely needs to spread that word, because that's a huge amount of education
Oh
that
yeah.
and that's a huge incentive. So yeah. Well, I I'm sure she's okay with you announcing that publicly. So hopefully we'll get that.
Well, she had it on social media, so that's where I saw it.
Well,
So she wants it to be out there.
no, 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 no. Well, hopefully we'll get it out there more now. So,
Cool.
so you had mentioned that and this is one of the reasons I want to expand on international. You were talking about how international is really a family pageant. So your daughter and you have this connection, but then your husband also plays a role. So why don't you expand more about how your husband, as an MRS title holder, plays a role in this, because this is something that's unique, because no other pageant systems incorporates husbands into the crowning ceremony, into the actual pageants, and just including men in general, because usually the guys get to sit in the crowd and we don't do anything.
Yes, that is true. Well, it's amazing because he gets to share in the experience with me. And at the state level, I'll just start at the state level and then talk about Mrs. International afterwards. So at Mrs. Maryland, he escorted me on stage in evening gown. And then the Mrs. Who wins, he gets to assist in the crowning, and that was amazing because we're both smiling crazy when he's crowning me, and putting the bobby pins in, and just it was a fabulous moment. And then the pictures are awesome. You can have those memories for a very long time together. So that's really fun. And then of course it's the same at Mrs. International, because the state pageants like to be as much like Mrs. International as possible. And I was just at Mrs. International a month ago, and it was an amazing experience. The international system is second to none, if I can say that, and it was exciting. It was fabulously done. Everything was top notch, and I appreciated it. And it was great to meet so many strong, accomplished, well-spoken women. And then, the production team is fabulous as well. They're from Nashville, and they worked with us until we had everything perfect. And so then when we got to prelims and the husbands came, and they work with the husbands as well, they have a meeting, and then they have a rehearsal, and they have a chaperone too who lets them know what's expected of them, and I guess if they have any questions. And so the husbands practice with us for evening gown, and then prelims, they escort us on stage. And
Well, that's cool.
they,
So they get the
yeah,
they
it's
get
really cool.
they get to play a part at nationals, even in prelims. That's really something unique. Wow.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It was wonderful.
So would you?
So, they help you down the stairs, because this year on stage there was 2 steps.
Okay.
And so,
Well,
yeah,
that makes
and
sense.
then,
Yeah. Then having
yeah, and
have
then,
some random person or someone that can't, you want to have your husband there in case you fall. So that just totally makes sense, and especially in your gorgeous dress. So,
yeah,
and let me tell
mean,
everyone
that was
here,
great.
Jennifer doesn't go with any average. Jennifer always has a beautiful big dress. So, if she's got to walk down some steps, we definitely want her husband there so she looks perfect and she doesn't fall or anything. And I'm sure all of her colleagues are the same way. So I think that's a great way to incorporate the guys. I think that's
Oh,
awesome.
definitely.
Yeah. So
And then when you're modeling the dress, they watch you, and
oh yeah.
then they escort you off stage. And it was funny when we were practicing because the choreographers of the whole production were like, so you look out at the audience, and your husband will guide you off the stage. They look where you're going, and you look pretty and smile. So that's what we did, and that was great stuff. And then although I didn't make the top 15, the ladies in the top 15 got to do it again, and then the Mrs. Utah won actually, and her husband got to assist in crowning her. So it's just, I love that because you wouldn't be a Mrs. without your Mister. So it's fabulous that they incorporate the husbands in the evening gown because, yeah, it's beautiful and
I think the best
they
way
look great.
No, I think the best way to say it, Jennifer, that it takes a great woman to make a great man, and it takes a great man to make a great woman in a team, and each one works together in Harlem. So, but in all sincerity, I think it takes a greater woman to make a greater man, because we all know that you guys bust your butt more than we do. So we appreciate every hard we appreciate every hardworking woman out there. So.
I appreciate that
because we know how pain in butts we are. So
we're never, of course.
no, of course not. No.
No. Oh, that's funny.
I just wanted to take 1 second from this great interview and talk about our sponsor of the week, Mid-Atlantic Video and Photography Productions. No matter if you're planning a wedding, a special event, or you just need an amazing headshot, they are the team to get the job done. You can reach out to them at 443-422-3830. Again, that's 443-422-3830. Or you can just go right to their website at mavpp.com. Now let's get right back to the show and listen to this great interview. Jennifer, now that you've been to nationals as a state title holder, how would you describe it being like? Would you promote it for someone? Is this a good Christian or family-based pageant? Because that's the way I think that's the way I think you were describing as a good family. Is that the best way to? Because it sounds like it's a great pageant, but is it if you have a really strong faith and family base? Is this the pageant you should do?
Well, the international system is my favorite. It is incredible, both at the state level, but also at the international level. The directors, Mary and Mel Richardson, are Christian, and they say at the beginning of orientation, we are Christian, we are going to pray. Please, if you don't follow this, that's fine, but this is who we are and this is what we're going to do. And they did. And I am a Christian myself, so I very much appreciate that. And they have very much integrity. They sent everyone their scores afterwards, and that's amazing. You can see, okay, this is how I did, and this is why. This is how this person did, and this is why. Because some people chose to post their scores, and some didn't, and that's fine. But it was great to see that. I mean, they are transparent, and I love that.
Now, Jennifer, point out why that's important, because some other systems don't. So yeah, so I think that's important.
Well, you can see why the person who won. They had the highest score.
Right.
And if they say the high score wins, then that's what you want to see happen. And if the high score wins and you see that, yay!
Right.
That's amazing. That's what you want. If the best gal wins, then you can be happy for her.
Exactly.
And, there's no animosity. There's no oh my gosh, I'm so mad because of all this craziness. No, there's none of that. So
and it takes
I'm thrilled for the lady who won, and I can see why.
No, and it takes away that thought in your mind, like, are they playing games? Are they just randomly picking people? I take pageantry as a sport, so if you're going
Mhm.
to if you're going to display it or offer it as a sport, then sports just like figure skating, they show their scores. So
Mhm.
I agree with you. I really appreciate
Sure.
that. I wish that it would be a mandate that all systems do, but I think that's one particular reasons why you should do international because they are so open.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Also, it is scored with numbers, and you have 5 judges, and the high and low score is thrown out, and those 3 numbers make up your final score, and the one with the highest score wins. Simple, easy. So I really appreciate it. Also, on prelims night and finals night, we all got in a circle, and somebody prayed for us. Just saying, it's awesome to be here. Help us to be our best self, and I really don't even remember what she said. I just remember that they did it. So that was awesome. And yes, it's very family based. They, like I've talked about already, they include the husbands, and they really embrace that. And also, I need to talk about this. When you're the queen, I am required to do one appearance a month, and because I have so many things to do and so many things I want to do, I make probably 4 to 6 appearances a month, and but it's based on what you are able to fit into your schedule, because they know you're a mom, they know you have a job, they know you have other responsibilities, and I think that is really great too. That's wonderful.
well, I agree with you with
So you
that.
can do your dream, and you can, as much as you can fit in is what they want you to do.
No,
So
I think it's important to mandate that you have to do one public appearances because I know from the Ms. category, some of the girls get very laxadative after nationals. So to mandate
mm-hmm.
that you still have to continue to be a part of the community, I think is a good motivator as well as a good thing to keep your, we can all get sad. So if you're forced to stay in the community and stay active, it's a way to stay positive that you're blessed that you have a state title and you have the opportunity to affect change in your local community. And if you can change your local community, that's one step to changing your national community. So that if you can change it locally, you can change it nationally. So um, it's a real like positive thing, that mindset. So I don't know what you think about that, but I really do think that's a really important thing too.
Yeah, something that I've really come to embrace this year is networking. It's just amazing. I've met some amazing women who've led to other amazing women who've led to. I'm going to be speaking October 1st they asked me to be their keynote speaker at the what's it called? Bosom Buddies Faces of Courage Breast Cancer Survivors Dinner. And I'm really excited about that and honored and humbled that they asked me. So I really look forward to doing that. And just the doors that open because you're a title holder, so that you can reach more people and assist them even more. And for me, these are more breast cancer survivors and people, ladies, are going through it, so that I can help them through it. When you have hope and when you have somebody behind you, there's more likely that you'll get through whatever hardship you're going through. So,
Well, that's so exciting that you are going to do this, be the public speaker for this big event. That kudos to you. I know that
yeah, thank you.
I know you love doing that kind of stuff. So
I
that's
do.
so exciting.
It is. And also, it's a motivator to stay, how shall I say, able to fit into the clothes that you compete in. Because I was asking them, because we met for lunch just to go over what we was going to speak about, and I was telling them my story, and they're like, "Oh yeah, wear your opening number dress." And then I thought, "Oh shoot, I've been
Oh,
really
okay.
going easy on it since I've been back. So okay, here we go. I'll get back in shape." So thankfully, I have 6 weeks, and yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be fine. I know you're a perfectionist, so you'll easily accomplish that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to take one extra second and talk about our sponsor of the week, Mid Atlantic Video and Photography Production. No matter if you're planning a wedding and you need a wedding videographer, you're doing a music video, or doing a commercial, they are the team to get the job done. You can reach out to them at 443 42 Again, that's 443-422-3830. Or you can go right to their website at mavpp.com. Now let's get right back to this great interview. This is the part of the show which I get to give you the reins of the show, and you get to talk about whatever you want. So what's really important that's going on that you want to promote, or you need some help sponsoring? So tell us what's going on.
Yes. Well, as I mentioned before, I donate care bags to my breast surgeon, and she said that there's about, let's see, how many do? About 250 care bags a year, and I pay for those myself. And it would be awesome if I could find some sponsors to help me cover those care bags. They are not that expensive. Each one is about $5. So if anyone would like to reach out to me on Facebook, Jennifer Wakefield, and message me to find out how, if you'd like to become a sponsor, that would be fabulous. Because as I've also said, these ladies who receive them are encouraged by them, and they've, told me that they're going to fight harder because they know somebody else is behind them and has been there where they are. So that would be a big help to have some sponsorship with those care bags that I donate to my breast surgeon.
Do you have a GoFundMe started right now?
I don't.
Well, if you do, please let us know, and we will definitely let people know about it, because there will be a bylog, a little info about you that I can put in the bottom. So all our
That's
listeners,
a great idea.
yeah,
Maybe I should create one.
yeah, please. All our listeners,
Okay.
don't forget, when you want to get a little bit more information about Jennifer, if she has opened one, it'll be below. But I'm also gonna make sure you have all the contact information. And so you want help with the care packages, and you need about 250 a year, which is so
Mhm.
is so 250 people. That's so sad. Hopefully,
Those are the people she tells in her office.
I
That
know
doesn't include the people she tells on the phone.
wow, that's so sad.
I know.
So you need some help in the care bags. Anything else coming up that you'd like some people to show up for, or anything that we could rally around and help you with?
Do I have something else? I
No.
can't think of anything else right now. There is, what do I have? Oh, I just did an interview with Gifts of Kindness. That was a couple of weeks ago, and I was invited to be on her show, and I talked about my platform, and that was really exciting. She interviewed me, and it's going to air on Fox Plus in
that's
October.
exciting.
So, yeah. Oh no, it was so fun. My degree is in broadcast journalism, so I had a lot of fun doing that with her, and that was exciting to have been invited on her show. Yep.
Okay, and how do you want people to? If someone wants to reach out to you personally, if they have breast cancer questions or cancer questions, and they just want to talk, and they feel that they can trust you, do you want them to reach out to you on Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook Messenger is the best. Also, I'm on Instagram as Mrs. Maryland International 2019, so they can reach out to me there as well. Mm-hmm.
And how is it listed on Facebook? If you want, is it just Jennifer Wakefield, or is it? Do you have your middle name?
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's Jennifer Wakefield.
Okay. So guys, if you really if you need a little bit of one-on-one treatment and hand holding, like Jennifer's an expert in this. She's actually been trained. If you really need some extra love and support, and you're really stressing, I would encourage you to reach out to Jennifer, because
yes,
especially
please do.
Yeah, we're so thankful for you to being in the family this year, Jennifer, and it was really a blast being your videographer and doing your official and doing some photos with you. And I'm really excited for the future for you, and I hope that if you do start a GoFundMe, just let us know, and I'll add it in the information. And if anything big comes on, please let us know. We'll have it bring back as a follow-up to talk about anything that's going on.
All right. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming on the show. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day and just showing that even though you may be given a really horrible medical diagnosis of breast cancer, there is opportunities to survive and be successful after breast cancer, and you're a shining example that it is possible. We're so blessed that you are still here and you are affecting change, and we're so blessed to have learned so much from you. And I hope everyone learns, if you're given that diagnosis, that even if it's terminal, that you can still make changes and affect change and make other people happy, and you can do good in the world. Do not forget, this show drops every Thursday afternoon. It's also on YouTube and iTunes. Please thumb up or give us a thumbs down. Tell us what we're doing good and tell us what we're doing bad. Please give us a comment. Please give us a star rating. And don't forget to please subscribe and to tune in.